Welcome to the DJ Blad podcast. Today, I have this podcast is going to be a little bit different from the other initial three that you possibly seen. And today, I had some on my mind. You know, I've been thinking about old friends. Me and my wife, we were thinking about all our old friends that just recently, just all of a sudden, just left us. I mean, just they're just gone. So the question that I have today is: Have you ever have you ever dated a person, or is a great friend with a person who has all of a sudden just passed away? I mean, I'm gonna tell you briefly about my story. Because I have several people that have passed on and left just all of a suddenly. Um, but there's one particular person, I'm not going to say his name, um, out of the respect of his family and out of respect of myself. But I'm just going to briefly just talk about it a little bit. Um, I had a friend in the early 90s that obviously had passed on. Um, and before this even happened, I basically talked to him on the phone, and he was out of town. And the conversation was just like briefly, "Hey man, I can't wait till you get back into town so we can hoop, you know, God stuff. I can't wait till you get here, man, so we can hoop and have a good time, bro." And when he was murdered, and I got the gist of the story of what happened, it did something to me because this person's family, his mom and dad, were two of the greatest people I ever met. Um, of course, he did have siblings, and we used to always hang around until this one particular time when he went out of town, and that was the last time I had spoken to him. That phone call, and so me and my wife was just sitting back. My wife was telling me, and we were reminiscing about people that we've known and we were close to that just all of a sudden left. And of course, a few tears shed because it's like it's bringing back like old memories of you know. Um, but again, back to my friend. Um, he was a basketball player. He was just an all right, great student. The girls liked him. They liked him. And as a young man, he he just wanted to he just wanted to, just have a normal life. But that was all taken away. And so this is why I'm doing this podcast, because, again, the question is, have you ever dated a person or is great friends with a person who all of a sudden passed away on you? And so you just, for the viewers out there, just think about that for a second. Just think about it. It's just that one person or that one girlfriend or that one boyfriend or that one homie or that one homegirl that was just always cool, always around, laughing, is here with you from the good times and the bad, and giving you good advice. And then all of a sudden, you get that phone call, or you look on the on Facebook, and that person is not here anymore. And your first initial reaction would be, what happened? What happened? What happened there? Why is that person not here anymore? Why? At least that was my first reaction. What happened? Who did it? Why? 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 A lot of people say, "Oh, it was his time to go." I don't. When you're grieving, you don't want to hear those things. You want to hear pretty much nothing. You just want someone to be there for you in those trying times. And so it comes back to my next question, which is, what was your initial reaction when you got that phone call, seen that on Facebook or any other social media platforms? What was your reaction? What would you feel inside when you got the news? What were you doing at that time when you got the news? Who were you around when you got the news that that great person that just all of a sudden just passed? You see, we have to know that, for one, we should it shouldn't, how would I say this? We should do whatever we do to grieve. It can be as a traditional, or it can be a bizarre thing, but we grieve. And knowing all this stuff, um, for me, it's just, again, I cried I reminisced about the good times because that's the one thing for me that worked. It's just thinking about the good times, not thinking about the end, so that I can cope with everyday life. Never forgetting, but moving on to my everyday life. And so I want to know what was your reaction? What was your reaction? Your initial reaction at that minute, at that second, at that hour, when you got that phone call, or you seen that on Facebook and other or other platforms? What was you thinking? Were you hurt? Were you sad? Were you angry? What was going on in your mind? As I gave you a few examples, or I should say a few experiences that I had when this person that I just briefly spoke upon, I don't think I can move on. But sometimes if I think about it, it'll make me emotional. But then in the same instance, I would think about the good times that I had with this person. Playing ball and just being teenagers. And so I just want to get an understanding to what you were feeling. And who was you around when this all occurred? I love a lot of people, and I lost a lot of people, a lot of people. And I'm sure all the viewers out there as well lost a lot of people in your life. And it hurts. But as I experienced over the years for myself, is that it shouldn't hurt. Well, at least for me, despite of whatever happened to that person that you just so love, so love. I celebrated them. And the new saying that is, you give the people flowers before they pass on. And if I would have known that, I would have, back then, like I know now, I would have did just that. I would have did just that. Giving them their flowers and celebrated them. Think about the good times that you had with that person or persons. Reminisce about the things that they've done or the accomplishments that they have done that you acknowledged, and how did it make you feel? See, those are the things that we need to uplift ourselves with, is celebrating. celebrating these people. We don't do that. We grieve so hard that in some instances, it'll take us even out. We grieve too hard. And I'm not trying to tell anyone how to grieve or in any manner. I'm not telling. I'm not saying you can't. You have to grieve a certain way, but just don't be in it too long. Don't grieve too long, because then it'll start affecting your health in a way that is bad or could possibly be bad. So these are my experiences. But as viewers, I want to know, what do y'all feel? What do y'all feel? What is your reaction? What is your reaction to that person or persons that you lost over the years? How do you feel? How was you feeling at that time? It's very difficult. This is a very difficult topic to talk about. Just talking about that one person that was that you just looked up to and whatever. All it was joys. And then they just all of a sudden, boom, gone. There was a reaction to that. And you still go through it. You still battling it, trying to figure out ways to cope with this loss. And so people just need, I feel that especially for myself, I want to be alone. Sometimes it's good, and then other times it could be bad. Just to be alone. And I kind of stayed in that grief for a while. I don't know why. I just do that. I stayed in it until up to this point where I had to learn how to celebrate those people, despite of what happened to them. Despite of what happened to them, I had to celebrate those people. But again, I had to this is difficult for me, but I'm gonna get through it. I wish I could have gave that person, if I even knew about this, gave them their flowers before they left. And it's really difficult. And I'm sure it's for the viewers. It's like a difficult topic. Because we've talked about people passing and leaving us, but that one person that, oh man, this person just makes me feel good, if you're as far as a relationship is, or this is my homie, man. I mean, we like thick as thieves, you know what I'm saying? You like, man, that reaction, the initial reaction that you had at that one moment when you found out that that person or persons was gone. So you ask yourself that question. I'm gonna open up the comments section. So if you'd like to say anything, you can. You don't have to get into details, but kind of briefly talk about it. Because the people that you were talking about, their families know. So you just briefly talk about it. And so I'm going to leave you with this. To your loved ones, talk to them. Rekindle old relationships that were bruised and battered, if you can. And last but not least, give those flowers to that family member. Give those flowers to that family member. Give those flowers to that family member. Because worth it. It's 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 worth it. It is worth it. Oh man, this is this is tough, y'all. This is tough. But it's necessary. You know? It's necessary. It's necessary. It's necessary. And so I'm going to leave you and thank you. Thank you for subscribing, and please subscribe and hit the notification button if you don't mind. And thank you for watching the Mission Podcast with DJ Bled. Salutes.